Hello, hello, hello. So we're back with another information video, and today we're going to be talking about the most overrated rare ships in World of Warships. So this classification of ships are ships that are no longer available outside of Santa containers or limited time events. So let me know what you guys think are the most overrated rare ships in the game, but we're going to get started. And this is going to be in no particular order. So we're just going to be jumping through this with me and SAT score and talking about our thoughts on the most over or our thinking of the most overhyped ships in the game. So the first one is going to be the John Bart. The one of the main reasons why we say the John Bart is because everyone hypes up how great the ship is and how good, and even I think the ship is good, but at the same time, there's a lot better tier 9s that are running around than this ship. And the only playstyle this thing really has is you having to be off the map spamming HE. Because if you get anywhere near close, people are going to be able to knock out your guns really easily. And it kind of suffers in the current meta as well, unless you play that certain way, just being off the map spamming HE. What are your thoughts on why this ship is overhyped, SAT?
Well, it used to be good back when it was released, but right now her 32mm armor only having two turrets and the fact that it's not very accurate kind of hurts it a lot. It's easy to play, you just sit bow in and shoot AP or HE or whatever target, but I feel like you don't really get that much use out of it other than the easy to play and not relatively hard to die in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my main thoughts as well as too. So the John Bart definitely overhyped in today's meta. Next ship is a ship that I really like. I like playing it, but it's also way overhyped. The Georgia. The ship, it is very versatile what it can do, but there are ships that can do better than what it can do in the current meta. So I think this ship is very overhyped for tier 9. It's a very squishy battleship. Its guns are accurate, but there are only 6. So a lot of the time, you get that really trolly dispersion out of having 2 barrels on the turrets. So it can be really trolly with that. A lot of people do like to run this ship with a secondary build and run it down with its engine boost. But a lot of the time, if you do that, you're just going to get melted really quickly, and you don't last very long, and you kind of die early. So you're kind of stuck playing the more mid to long range with this ship, and its armor definitely lackluster in that, and you will suffer being anywhere near close to the enemy team. What are your thoughts on the Georgia yourself?
I personally think Georgia is very solid. The one of her main issues is just her relatively poor armor, like, and the fact that she has improved secondaries, which leads to a lot of people being baited into secondary range when she's not really suited for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still think she's a very strong ship. But there's a couple times where she just gets clapped out. Like if you fight a secondary ship, actual secondary ship in brawling range, or the Musashi just says hi to you, it just overmatches your bow anyways.
Yeah, that's like the main concern there for sure. So Georgia definitely overhyped of a rare ship. The next one is going to be the Kronstat. The Kronstat was really good when it first initially came out, but when that rework happened with the commander rework a long time ago, the Kronstadt got really hit hard with that, as well as the Stalingrad in particular, and it made both of those ships really outstanding cruisers to more okay, and then over time the Kronstadt kind of just became really underwhelming for how much hype was around it. The dispersion, when it's good, it's amazing, but most of the time, your dispersion is going to be really trolly. And with how many secondary ships are running around, or how many ships that can kind of out cruiser what this ship can do, I kind of think the crunch at this point is really just underwhelming nowadays. What are your thoughts, SAT?
Honestly, I never really liked the ship because even though it's a high HP pull and 12 kilometer radar, the it has literally battleship type dispersion.
Mm-hmm.
And since you're encouraged to go bow in, and so you don't die very quickly, you don't get to use a lot of firepower. And with only 6 guns shooting up front, it kind of sucks. So the armor scheme is also not really that great. It's 25 millimeter. It's kind of covered in 25 millimeters. I would have to double check the armor scheme,
25
but I
millimeter
don't.
bow and aft with a 27 millimeter deck and a side armor
Yeah,
plating of 230 millimeters for the Citadel.
the 27 millimeter deck is not very good.
Not
So a
in
lot of
today's
16
meta,
inch.
no.
Yeah, lots of 16-inch guns flying around, and yeah, you just get crapped on by everything. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, you don't get fire prevention, so now you're permanently on fire at the same time.
Yep,
Not
that
very fun.
is. No, it's not at all. So moving on from tier 9 ships, I think another really overhyped rare ship is going to be the Grass Bay. I never really understood why this ship was such a strong meta ship, or like why it was so strong. The only real place I saw this thing was really strong was in clan battles. And after that season, it was pretty much banned in all tier 6 clan battles after that. So I don't really see why or how people are overhyping the Grass Bay nowadays. But I have been seeing people saying it's really good, but it was only really strong in clan battles and potentially ranked. But nowadays, yeah, it's kind of just on the corner, the side, next to the other rare overhyped ships. What are your
Uh,
thoughts on the Grass Bay?
It's tanky, it's historical, but the guns, you only get 6 guns and they don't like to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how they work sometimes, because they will randomly get citadels out of nowhere, and then you aim at the same broadside target, then your next salvo, 3 overpens.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for sure.
The reason why she's relatively why people liked her is just because she has a heal. She actually doesn't explode, unlike almost any other cruiser at tier 6.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a better once you get more experience in mid-tier cruisers, you can actually the firepower becomes a lot better or a lot more important. And it turns out Graf Spade doesn't have much firepower.
Yeah, no, it does not. Mm-mm. So that's the Grass Bay. Next ship, it is going to be. This one's going to be an interesting one. I'm curious what you guys think of this ship on me thinking it's overhyped. But I think the Missouri, at this point, is one of the most overhyped ships in World of Warships at this point. And the reason why is that one of the main reasons why the Missouri was such a strong recommended ship was because of the fact that it had a very strong credit enhancement, and it was one of the best credit earning ships in the game, and that only applies to the OG version of the Missouri, not the new one that you're able to buy. So the thing is that for new players, the the Missouri you can get now, even though you can't really get it, that ship is just average. It's better to play in Iowa at that point because the Missouri, the new one, doesn't have the old credit earning potential, which was one of the main reasons why people played the Missouri. So OG players will be like, yes, this ship is awesome. It's amazing. It's the credit earnings that makes it so great. It's not like if you're close enough to where you're using a 9.5 kilometer radar in a Missouri, a lot of the time you're gonna die. You're not gonna last super long with how the games go. And in ranked, there are a lot of ships that do a better job at tier 9. Like you can get the Kearsarge for free with coal. That does a better job in ranked compared to the Missouri. And a lot of times I would rather just play Iowa over the Missouri. But that's, that's my opinion on that. But what is your thoughts on the Missouri being an overhyped ship, SAT?
Missouri kind of feels like one of those ships that just got left behind. Yeah, she was very good once when she had the crazy credit enhancing modifier, but over time, her counterpart Iowa just kept getting buffs. Like she got, most notably, she got a significant heal buff,
Yep.
which helped her out a lot. Missouri never got anything. In fact, she just got taken away because Wargaming knows everyone wants a Missouri for the historical part, so they just
Mm-hmm.
make her very hard to get.
Yep.
So when she came back, yeah, she when she was back on sale, she didn't get any improvements. And improvements that honestly, like essentially power creep kind of left her behind. She can still do work, but it feels like she's just definitely not as strong as she was before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some excellent points for the Missouri, so thank you for bringing those up. One of the final ships we're going to be mentioning is also going to be a very historical ship. It is going to be the Enterprise. And we're going to explain why in detail on this one. It's going to be a little bit. So, the main reason why we say this is back in the day, before they did the rocket changes to CVs, this was one of the top CVs to have at tier 8, right? Amazing
Hmm.
rockets. They could go after destroyers, cruisers, battleships, you name it. It doesn't matter. Great bombers, great torpedoes. And this ship wasn't just a strong all-around attacks aircraft carrier. It also had some of the best fighters at the time for tier 8 and still does. It was an amazing anti-CV plus being able to do a lot of damage as well. But when they did the rocket change to the CVs, it really hampered the Enterprise's ability to hunt destroyers as well, or be as strong as an attack CV as it was. And then over time, the Enterprise has got kind of, what's the word for this? It's got power crept over time. Like the new Essex cruiser line that came in, the Russian, not the cruiser, the carrier line, sorry. The new Essex carrier line that came in, the Russian carrier line that came in, the new Russian premium carriers that came in as well. There's a lot of new premiums that came into the game that kind of just power crept the Enterprise to where it's more of just an average to good CV and not super OP like it used to. So to me, Enterprise is probably in, not just because it's historical, but it's also just because overhyped ships in the game. What are your thoughts about the Enterprise SAT?
She's been a victim of a lot of changes. They're not, she's one of the old premiums, so technically she cannot be directly nerfed. But Wargame has made constant changes to aircraft mechanics that indirectly would nerf her. So, uh, in fact, they even removed her. They accidentally buffed her during one patch, and they just silently removed her for a long time.
Yep.
But right now, all of the old mechanics, and especially the rocket change, come back to hurt her because, like, not only she was well-rounded, but she especially capitalized on killing destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
But you took that away, and then you're stuck with really bad RNG on her AP dive bombers and torpedoes. They're nice, but they're not anything special. She still has good plane reserves, but that's really about the best you can say about Enterprise, other than her historical combat record.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, those are our most overhyped ships that are like rare ships that aren't really available anymore. I know there's a lot that we probably didn't, of course, mention in the lower tiers as well. So make sure you guys leave a comment on what ships you think are overhyped, or if you guys think we're wrong on some of these, let us know as well. I'm really curious on what you guys personally think, but I just wanted to just do my opinion on, and me and SAT Square's opinion on our thoughts on the most overhyped rare ships that are no longer available, because people are like, oh, you have to buy this ship, or you have to get this, or this is really good, and a lot of the time it just feels like it's overhyped. So I just wanted to go over that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. Thank you again for helping out, SAT. Greatly appreciate you. and I will see you all in the next video.